most common cause of homelessness UK-wide, which has been for many years, is relationship breakdown. A partner, it could be a nasty divorce, it could be relationship breakdown with parents. We see that quite often. Short hold tenancies, so there are a lot of those in the local area as well as UK-wide, and a tenancy just ends with no sort of thought about where that person might be able to go and live, and again that person just has no choice but to become homeless. Poor mental health is very prevalent in a lot of our clients, and will probably be a leading factor in someone becoming homeless.
When I was younger, I had to move away from where I was living because of a certain situation. We ended up moving into a hostel just outside of Somerset.
Ended up in care when I was a kid. Getting into a bit of trouble and that. Mum put me in care. I was in care from about the age of 11 to 16.
ART is a local homeless charity, so our core service is to accommodate homeless people locally, but as well as so that might be support with their mental health, with addictions, with relationship breakdowns or reconnecting with people. And we basically provide a personalised journey for them so that we can support them to become independent again.
I don't think so. I don't think there's enough. I think there's definitely always more that you can do in any situation.
Well, they're trying, but I think it'll be a never-ending story,
Obviously, we got relatively lucky in a sense. I feel like there's a lot of people that wouldn't have even been able to stay in a hostel like we did. So for us, it was okay, even though we stayed there. A woman with 3 kids. I was 9. I think I was 9 years old at the time.
So long as there are people out there that are offering help, and people want to go and receive that help, then yeah, it will just keep going. You'll always have people on the streets, but so long as there are people like ARC out there that offer support. Yeah.
I feel like there is no help for anyone, no matter whether it's you put yourself out there through silly things that you've done, or you've just lost your house, or you've been kicked out, because it's not just, oh, this person does silly things, does drugs, lost their job or whatever. People can get kicked out of their house, some situation can happen where you have to run away or something like that, and I don't think there's enough in place for either.
By supporting local homeless charities. Essentially, the charities are the ones that can directly support people who are homeless and use their sort of expertise and their services and their resources to support that person. So I would say if you are looking to support homeless people, to look up your local homeless charity and see in which ways you can support them. Another way is just to understand homelessness and to be kind towards people who are experiencing that. There is unfortunately a stigma and a prejudice surrounding homelessness. The more people who understand homelessness and are kind to homeless people, hopefully it will spread further, and we can just see a lot of kindness towards people who are going through a really difficult time.
100%, yeah. Like I said earlier, it's not just people that do drugs and then put themselves in that situation.
There is unfortunately a stigma surrounding homelessness. There has been, since I've worked in this role, I think there always will be, unfortunately.
You can lose your job because the company goes under or something like that. You're then left jobless. You might not have necessarily a bunch of skills, so you find it hard to get another job. And then you lose your house, you have no money, you end up homeless.
So there are certainly prejudices surrounding homeless people, who they are, how they become homeless. One of my roles is to sort of try and beat that prejudice and to teach people and educate people into who a homeless person might be.
It's not just drug abuse or alcohol abuse, there's many situations that can put you there, and I think people just assume instantly that you've got yourself there like that. I know people that have refused to give homeless people money because they think they're going to use it for something negative.
Homelessness can happen to anyone, so yes, unfortunately there is a misunderstanding of homelessness and who a homeless person can be. But on the plus side, I think there's a lot of support for the cause as well, and hopefully more and more people are starting to understand that it can really happen to anyone.
Or people that just think, oh, they're going to be there in that situation until they die, and because they put themselves there in the first place, but it's never necessarily really like that. I'd say it's more than likely that they've got themselves there through like unpreventable things and actually getting themselves there themselves.
Being supported by ARC for going on for about 20 years now, maybe a bit more.
I've worked at ARC for coming up to 8 years now. So my role is in fundraising and communications, so I am in charge of basically raising money for the charity and also raising awareness of the charity as well as homelessness. So 8 years and still here and still really enjoying it.
Quite good actually, it's a lot better than no support at all, isn't it? But yeah, they give you all the support you need really, it's if you want to use that support. You know what I mean?
I joined ARC just by chance, really, although I've always supported the homelessness cause. So when I was growing up, my dad actually worked for a local homeless charity as well. So I spent quite a lot of time sort of talking to my dad about the cause, what his role was, and I got to know a lot about homelessness in general and how people maybe become homeless. So it's always something that I've understood and have had a passion towards.
A lot of the clients, they don't bother using what they've got in front of them, and that's the trouble, is you've got to engage with it to receive the benefit from it.
I was just happened to be looking for a job and this popped up and looked really interesting to me, and obviously a huge benefit of the role is that you're helping people locally, and there's a charitable purpose to what you're doing. So that's where I started really, and yeah, just stayed here ever since.
It's difficult because a lot of people, when they see you on the street, they don't even know whether you're a drug addict or an alcoholic, or whether you're just a normal person sleeping rough on the streets. And they don't take the time out to stop and talk to you to find out your situation,
Even people do judgmental.
Yeah. So, I'd just say, take the time to stop and talk to someone on the streets, and, a lot of the time you'll find out they're nice people, they're not all out to get you,
Yeah.